Hey guys, so back again. We're going to talk a little bit about the coronavirus, what I've learned about it. Sunglasses are not just for show tonight. I got a kind of a headache, some light sensitivity going on. Not really a kind of event where, you know, it's like, man, I really want to look cool. It's just bugging me right now. So stuff's kind of messing with my eyes a bit. But that being said, so we got some updates. Kind of a different perspective on what's going on soon. I'm just going to do this to a backdrop of Doom, kind of keep things kind of chill tonight. I want to point out that as it stands, this is not apocalyptic stuff, but I've noticed that there's kind of two extremes with this. Later. All right, cool. So I've noticed there's kind of two extremes of the coronavirus at the moment, or people viewing the coronavirus. So one. Oh, I got a little lag going on now. What the heck? Okay. Anyways, so I think people are torn. There's a camp of people that I think are using this to scare people, again, kind of terrify them a bit. And there's another camp which is taking it, in my opinion, way too lightly. I think that I'm trying to be somewhere in the middle. From what we have gathered, and let me go see if I can pull the numbers up right now. As expected, it seems like the numbers are steadily growing. Now, we have some good news. We definitely got some good news. Let's see. NC. Here we go. Yeah, I got the map right here. Okay, so as of right now, in terms of statistics, hold on, it's going to the desktop site. I can't put both like on my monitor, and I can do like both streaming and Google. Or Google Chrome. It likes to freeze everything up. So let's get the desktop site up here real quick. The mobile site just does not want to work. So here we go. Loading the stats. Currently right now, we have 31,472 infected. These confirmed. And then we have 638 total deaths, with 1,553 recovered. Now bear in mind, from what I'm gathering, it's expected that the recovered is going to be increasing, which is good news. For a little bit there, we had the deaths and the recovered were dead equal, and you know, having a coin flip for mortality is pretty scary. So there's a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of new confirmed cases. We have the U.S. is still sitting at 12. I've heard reports, however, that the U.S. Let's see. Hey, there we go. So let's go. All right, so that being said, so everything's ready to go. So with this, the U.S. has cases. As pointed out in the last episode, we have several suspected cases in New York. Now, this, as we highlighted in the past, is concerning because testing is not necessarily very accurate. In fact, I believe I mentioned before that the fourth case in Canada was it was tested as a negative, but then the same exact sample, from what I'm reading, and I'm gonna be very thorough as much as I can here to point out, you know, words like terms like from what I'm reading, alleged, apparently, and then things that are confirmed by the scientific community. I'll be pointing out as fact based on evidence. But from what I read, the fourth Canadian case or suspected case was essentially a false negative, so it was tested again, came out positive. We have had a few of those around the world so far, and that part's a little concerning. Not to mention the fact that this virus is still very highly transmittable. We're not going to get an R0, which R0 is the official way of saying R0 rate, the infectability rate. So the R0 rate at the moment is hard to kind of determine. And what we can say right now is it seems like it's higher than the flu, and as it stands, it's still significantly deadlier than the flu. Now, there has been a lot of evidence that says if you have a good immune system, you're most likely going to be okay, but we really cannot confirm that until, well, we see it in action. And as I pointed out before, it'll be a few days until we find out if there's outbreaks. Now, what's also worth mentioning here is it seems like the CDC at this point, they're no longer focusing on containment. They're now focusing on dealing with outbreaks. It seems at this point like the cat is out of the bag, and we no longer are able to contain the virus. Now, it does not mean the world is going to end, but it does mean it's worth keeping in mind. So what does this mean for us? What does this mean for United States citizens mostly, and for anyone else who's different countries? What this means is we have a very novel virus. We have something we've never experienced before. That is, at this point, we may come into contact with it. They are working on vaccines, but it is not something that we really know how to encounter. If you take a look at some of the quote-unquote hospitals made in China, I'm not sure how much they look like hospitals. Now, what I have gathered, because I'm trying to... There's a lot of people that tend to obsess about putting out the worst news possible. And I think it's very easy to immediately take a look at these new hospitals and just assume they're prisons. They don't look pretty, but I believe there's someone from China who was giving me an update. He was a bit more forgiving for the government. He was saying that the bars on the windows and the fact they lock from the outside and not the inside, those are relatively common practice for quarantine. In fact, they were modeled after hey, how you doing? How you doing, man? So they were apparently modeled after a facility made for SARS a couple years ago, which is part of why it came up so fast. They used those to build them. And I have seen evidence of crematoriums inside those quote unquote hospitals and facilities. I've also noticed it around Wuhan in the province. I forgot the name of it, but they are also making stadiums into places where they're holding cells, and I've read reports that it's not very sanitized or sanitary. So there's just a lot of misinformation and a lot of information, a lot of misinformation. It's really hard to tell. What I can say is I think we are at a spot now where we should not panic, but it could not hurt to prepare. For instance, I've stocked up some stuff around here. I think I'll be ready in case there's a long haul. Because again, it's better to have something and not need it than need something and not have it. And that's kind of my philosophy about all this stuff. Non-perishables are not very expensive. Again, we're not prepping for the end of the world. We are just anticipating something bad may come up. And I think that it is a little careless to buy into the narrative that this is just as bad as the flu, which it's clearly not. We are looking at something that is significantly worse. Or the problem is, it might not be, but so far the evidence seems to suggest it is. Now, by how much, we don't know, and it really just boils down to the information that's leaking out of China right now. So, we want to take the chance on this? This virus is novel. We've never experienced it. We don't know how to handle it. Also, some very sad news. One of the doctors who was a whistleblower on the whole thing, he has contracted the virus, unfortunately, and from what I read, allegedly, his family has also passed away from the same thing. So conditions in Wuhan are still not very good, and I don't know if they're deteriorating or not. Now, we have a friend named Quentin. I'm going to see if I can get him on the show at some point. I'll hit him up after this is over with. He's been very, very helpful. He is currently in Macau, and he has a master's in public health, which has been extremely useful. I think I'm gonna die. Am I gonna die? Yeah, I'm gonna die. Oh, come on, man. I've gotta... Okay. Okay, I got it. We're all cool. We're all cool here, guys. Yeah. Alright, so... yeah, I'd love to get Quentin on here at some point. He has been an amazing source of information for Macau's situation. Macau is quite far away from Wuhan, and now they're getting into quarantine. Like at this point, it looks like it's getting, as they said, very critical. In fact, he sent some interesting audio and video of a PA system that is basically broadcasting instructions to stay in place at this point. So they're not messing around over there. It is definitely getting interesting. He is confident that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. That is something I'm hearing a lot too, that things are going to get worse first. Now, how worse, we don't know. I think it would be remiss to not take this seriously. I think, there's a lot of things that we're taking seriously in the news right now. I think, I'm not recommending you load up on weaponry and ammo and stuff, but I'd say that if you want to get some non-perishables, have some stuff for a little bit of time, it's not a bad idea. There is a tremendous amount of people that are just, they're getting the wrong things out of this whole this whole situation. Even recently, I had to... There was a very graphic video that I saw in one of these groups. And, will you go away? So, and it showed some really ugly stuff, and it still kind of bugs me that I had to see it. And the problem was the video didn't really have any evidence that it was linked to Wuhan or the virus, and I was just really agitated that people had to be exposed to it just because someone wanted to get some clicks or get some attention. So there is a lot of that going on, and I'm going to try to give you guys the information that I can verify is legitimate. You're not going to hear a lot of conjecture or theories, or at least as best as I can do. I think there is some reasonable conjecture that we can use. For instance, you know, we can pretty much assume that the numbers from China are not going to be accurate. And again, like, you know, is it going to be worse than the flu? Yes, I think that's an amount of conjecture that is worth bringing up. You know, so we have no updates about New York yet. All we know is there are more cases now than my last update of people that are suspected to have the coronavirus. And it will be some time, guys, until we find out if the situation truly is contained or not. I also read some other reports that are hard to confirm. One of which was a guy from India in this forum I'm in, and he was saying that he was a medical student from India, and he was on a trip in China, and he believes he's contracted the coronavirus. Now, what's upsetting about this is he is confident he can cure himself. Excuse me. Now, he says he's dealing with some symptoms. He says it's not the worst, but he definitely is sick. Now, here's what's concerning. He's back in India. So a lot of my concerns here is not about the healthy. Yeah, there are some healthy people that have passed away because of this. My big concern is about the fact that even if people don't have many symptoms, you could potentially pass this on to someone who could be vulnerable to this. And from what I gathered... Oh, that guy got me good. From what I gathered, this is very bad for those who have compromised immune systems. I mean, really bad. Also, one thing to bear in mind, this virus, you're going to first start off not feeling very well. Sniffles, all that stuff. But then apparently, because there's a lot to kind of unpack here, you're going to start off by feeling bad, but then you're going to like get better, and then you're going to get worse. Oh my god, I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be dead. Am I okay? Am I okay? How did I walk away with 3%? Okay, so... another thing too is your chance of getting pneumonia from this is quite high. So there's a lot of stuff to keep in mind about what you might be encountering if you get the coronavirus. So keep this in mind. That's like using mine too many times. So knowing this, if someone has a compromised immune system, the idea of getting this, it's not good. All right, cool. I got him. I got him. Okay, let's see if I can sneak down there and get a one of these. Okay. Okay. So. Okay, I'm gonna go back to focusing. So what do we do? Well, first thing we're gonna do, like, this is not very much of a change from last time, but we still want to keep an eye on the situation. You know, if this gets out of hand, we will be in a situation where this virus really isn't going to go anywhere, according to the CDC. This might be something we just have now every year, like as part of the several viruses that go around, that now there'll be a coronavirus outbreak, stuff like that. But because at the moment it's so novel to our immune systems, I think this will be the roughest year we've ever had for it, understandably so. Again, since there's, you know, no immunity to this stuff. According to doctors, oh boy, they expect the virus to peak, if it does. Again, we don't know much because this is our first time dealing with it. So they expect it to peak around April, maybe May. So what does that mean for us? Well, it's February, guys. So does it mean hunkered down? I don't think so. The R0 rate is concerning, but it does not mean... It's not measles, okay? For basic way to put it, it's not measles. Measles is an R0 of 12 to 13. This one on the high end is currently guesstimated at about 4.1, and on other models it's like 2.5, which for reference I believe the flu is 1.5. So you're seeing here that yes, this is a more infectious disease than the flu, and as it stands with the mortality rate, it is quite possibly more deadly than the flu. And so this idea to downplay this, I just think it's a little irresponsible to say, oh yeah, it's just the flu. I have a feeling, and this is some conjecture, but I got a feeling the CDC and experts are putting that out there because they know that people are going to panic. So what I recommend to my friends, the people that might want to be a little bit ahead of this, if you can get your hands on non-perishables, it's not a bad idea at this point. Again, it does not mean you want to act like, you know, there's a nuclear holocaust on the way. No, it just means it would not be bad to be ready in case you have to be in a situation where you have to stay in place for a little bit. You know, like I've warned my family. Oh my God, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? Okay, there we go. So yes, I warned a few people in my family, older people, people that might be more susceptible to this, just to give them a heads up. I mean, for me, like, I am lucky that most of the work I do is from home, thankfully. I have a strong immune system, at least I believe I do. So I don't know if I'm at a gigantic risk, but really, you know, part of why I'm going to kind of take it easy during this period of time is because, you know, if I come visit my family and I'm carrying this virus, like, you know, my parents don't necessarily have the immune system. Well, they might, but we're not sure they have the immune system faculties to survive a coronavirus in case it goes bad, you know? So it's not just about yourself when it comes to looking out for this virus. It's also about people that might not be able to defend against it. Here we go. Okay. I actually got a chat I'm going to share this with real quick. I made a chat full of some people. Hold on. Okay. Let me go make this live, or make it public on my wall, and we're gonna get back to going over what I know about this. Edit privacy. I wish I could make it automatically public every time, but okay. So guys, make a link. Okay. So I got an update from Macau, China. So he says they're looking at a potential 16 cases. If they're positive, that would add it to our total number of 10. Expected to get worse in the city in the next 18, 19. So it's actually got a lot more now. So he says that they expected to get worse in the city for the next 7 to 10 days. Thanks a lot, Quentin. I appreciate the heads up, my friend. So we're still gonna get worse. It's not, you know, it's not I Am Legend, but it's still something to keep your eyes out on. So I'll talk about a little bit of my prep I've been doing. So I've got myself some rice. I have that's a great non-perishable. Again, I'll end up eating it anyways. If this ends up, you know, not going south, which this is still a very strong possibility, it might not go south. And if it doesn't, great. You know, prepare for just, you know, hope for that and prepare for the worst. I have a lot of protein powders I just never got rid of, so I just had them laying around. I got a bunch of plant protein. I got some whey protein. I don't do well with whey protein, but I got it laying around. It keeps very long, you know, good, keeps your macros in check. I got a lot of ramen. Not the best thing for dieting, but hey, it's easy food. Get your calories up. What else do I have here? I got a rice cooker recently. I got more ramen. I had some cereal I got. And as for more nutritious stuff, canned ham, that lasts a long time. I got a lot of Spam, mostly the light Spam, because the macros in that are actually not that bad. Normal Spam, yeah, it's a little bit calorie dense for the protein you're getting. Really canned ham, though, you're getting a lot of protein inside that stuff. I have been also looking into, I have powdered greens, because I know that if you do have to stay in place for a long time, you need to get your greens in. You need to get your vitamins in, and it's better to get it from a food source. I was looking into some freeze-dried vegetables. I'm a big fan of kale. However, I think a good source in case you have to get something powdered is to get something that's based with spirulina or cholera. There's a lot of good nutrients in that. Spirulina is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Has a high protein content in there. So a lot of good stuff in that. But yeah, so moving forward, going into other stuff I did to prep. I have a water distiller. Water distillers are amazingly handy. When you're trying to get a clean source of water, Brita filter is really not going to get the job done. You still got heavy metals, a lot of other stuff that could still be in there. So for me, a water distiller, funny enough, I didn't buy it for this. I've had the water distiller for a while for my humidifier, because you don't want to use tap in a humidifier. It'll just make things worse and mess up everything inside of it. Everything's worse, but just not good for the unit. So I wanted to have a cheap, unlimited source of water, and I just found out, hey, if I need to get water in case I gotta stay in place, I have a good arrangement here. So, other stuff I've got. Yeah, I think that's all the major stuff I've picked up. Oh yeah, beans. Beans are really good. They keep forever. Just a lot of canned stuff. Collagen protein's really good. Or peptides, sorry. And that should be all the stuff I've got in case I have to be here in the long haul. Mainly it's rice. Like rice is just, that can fuel you for quite some time. Other things I might recommend, if you can, if you have any prescriptions, if you can, again, this is just a suggestion. I'm not an expert in the field, but just if you can get your hands on a little extra, just in case things go south, might not be a bad idea. Do I think it's going to go bad? I don't know. I'm not an expert. I just know that we've never seen anything like this before. And I don't think I've found many experts that have not recommended to have some extra food on hand, which is, I think, where we all collectively are right now. Like, have some resources, especially if this does break out in your area, which, I might have BWI. So I'm expecting that if something does happen, it's already going to be here. And a lot of people might not know they have the virus. And most of these bad symptoms, they're typically going to be 14 to 30 days is when the worst stuff happens. So you're not really going to know you have it until it's too late. Or you're not going to know that it's hit your area until it's too late. The U.S. government has really done a decent, I can't tell if it's decent or not job, but it seems like they've acted pretty fast. They've really put a lot of quarantines in place. They've got they've put some travel restrictions up. It seems like they jumped into this pretty quickly. In fact, I listened to a podcast recently. It was actually this morning. It was from, let me see if I can get the name of it. And I got my notes here. I know I've got it. A lot of updates here. Here we go. Yes, it's a podcast called Science Versus. It's from Apple, and in it they had a very interesting interview. This is not just conjecture. Let me get the name of the guy they got. They interviewed, do they have it on there? He was basically somebody who So yeah, he was an advisor to the president during this. I got his name's in the thing. I'm sorry I didn't take it down. But yeah, if you check out the Science Versus podcast, it's called Corona Outbreak, How Scared Should You Be? So they were literally interviewing one of the guys that advised the president about what to do. And this was all back when we had like 8,000 cases, 8,000, 9,000. And he was saying, like, it's not a threat to us yet. And they're like, should you be worried? And he's like, you should be concerned about it. Keep your eye on it. I was surprised they were to get somebody who was in the administration, especially in this field, an expert like that. And, he seemed concerned. He seemed pretty worried. And don't forget, the last thing that your government is going to want from you is panic. So keeping that, in consideration, I think they're giving a lot of winking and nudging, where they're like, hey, we don't expect it to be like the end of the world, but if you have resources now, have them on hand. Have them on hand. So I don't have tremendously specific things to report, because I've been overwhelmed with data about this lately. Like, there's been so much stuff happening, but really the stuff that's worth letting you guys know is there still are cases growing. The United States is slowly showing that we do have some infections here, and the outbreaks, if they happen, again, if they happen, we're gonna know pretty suddenly. They're gonna catch up on us pretty fast. And at the end of the day, while it does not look apocalyptic, do we really want to roll that dice? I guess is the big question. Even if this ends up being like something where if you have a good immune system, you'll be all right. From a lot of the cases we've seen, if I recall correctly, it's about 20% of cases that have been reported involve hospital care. Like they're critical. I'm not sure if it's critical, but they involve hospitalization and help with respirators and just all this stuff you really don't have to put up with. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Now, will we have a vaccine anytime soon? I don't know. I read a report that there was one group that's moving already into human trials this soon, which is very unorthodox. You typically, want to go through a couple stages before you get to that. Are there ways to beat the virus with drugs? Yeah, some promising stuff right now, but different people respond to different medications, so it's hard to tell. But let's take a look at some of the math here. Let's take a look at yeah, let's take a look. So N. Okay, so let me get the calculator app up here. So let's go over the mortality rate right now. Let's go to calculator. Again, from what I read, we're expecting the recovered rate to increase, so this is not the end-all be-all. But it's just a number to watch out for, because we really don't know where this is going to head yet. And again, this is using the Chinese numbers, and we're all pretty much certain that these are suppressed. But let's take a look at these numbers. So, we're going to add these two figures. We're going to add the dead, and we're going to add the recovered. So, 638 dead right now. We're going to add that to 155.3. That gives us 2,191 people. That is all the people that have made it through the virus for good or worse. Okay, so let's get that. I'm not exactly a mathematician, but we're going to use some old school, some old percentage stuff. So, let's do 638. Actually, let's do this 638. I'll do divided by 2191. That shows that of the people that have recovered from this virus, it is a 29% mortality rate. It most likely is going to diminish, but it is just not. It's erroneous to use the total confirmed and then make a percent from the dead from that, because it's just not how viruses work. We have to wait to see. We have to see how everyone gets when they finish, or when the virus is finished with them, whether they make it or not. That's the number we actually use to do the math. So it is a concerning number. I believe the flu. Let me get that. The flu mortality rate. Flu mortality rate. Yeah, it's a 0.1% is on the low end. Trying to find it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, the mortality rate of the flu is 0.095%. So to say that, oh, it's just as bad as a flu. Right now, statistically, you could not be further from the truth. Like, not even close. Like you could, again, if you take the dead and you factor that in with the amount of infected, you're still going to have a higher mortality rate right now. So, it ain't Ebola. It isn't that. There's a lot of, sure, we've had virus, and it's a black plague, but it's very easy to transmit this stuff, and it's growing like wildfire. And there are statistics right now that there's one doctor I was listening to. Again, I'll try to get the source, but there are some figures, and the Lancet study agreed with this, or it agreed that it was much higher. But there's some scientists that are feeling we're getting up to 50,000 cases a day, and the number we're getting from China. The part of why it's a combination of being suppressed. And also, that there's a limited amount of testing kits. So what may be happening is apparently they can put out about 2,000 to 3,000 testing kits a day, and that's coincidentally the number of infected we're getting a day. Not only that, but I've read reports that apparently the Chinese, if someone dies from a complication, they will cite the complication as why they died and not the virus that caused the complication. So, for instance, if someone dies from the pneumonia that comes from the novel coronavirus, they will cite the pneumonia as what killed you and not the virus. So this leads back to the main problem, which is we don't exactly know what we're up against, which is, I guess, the main thing I want to report today. The footage from China is rough. Now, one other thing I need to really make certain here. I should share this in the group. Yeah. Let me go do that real nice. Sorry, I'm really tired, guys. I'm gonna share this in this coronavirus group I'm in. Yeah. Let's go do that. Let's do that. Unless I was removed. I don't know. Let's find out. I might have been. And if it was, I'm going to tell you why I was. I was not. Okay. Actually, wait. I don't know. I might have. All right, so this goes to a point I'm about to make real quick. Okay. Come on. Oh, I was. Very good. Good. Okay. So let me go point something out then. So there's a group on Facebook called Coronavirus Updates. They were relatively handy for a little bit, but let me go point out a few things they were doing that were frankly disgusting. And I'm happy to call them out for this, because I know at least one or two of them is going to be following this. So I try to be as thorough as I can with what I verify, because there are ramifications for posting things that are erroneous, and more importantly, posting things that are horrifying. So there is a video that is circulating, and it's completely unverified. Not only that, but there's zero evidence. In fact, a lot of evidence to the contrary that it has anything to do with the virus. And I mean, it is the kind of footage that is very hard to forget, if that makes sense. And I do not want to give these sacks of crap the dignity of talking about what it was. Now, I've seen this several times in their group, and I have debunked it alongside a number of other people that have debunked it as well. And that being said, it is one of the videos that I have refused to show other people that are following this crisis, because it's trashy. It's absolutely trashy, and it just involves some stuff that's very gruesome. And they tried to pass it off as part of the virus. I called them out. This is why I'm not in the group anymore, and I stand by this. I have the screenshots to prove it. We had some disgusting human beings that figured that they could get some juicy reactions, some juicy comments, and get all the attention they wanted to by abusing some people that had unfortunately passed away due to some horrible conditions that were not related to the virus at all. And I took issue with this. It was just really ugly. So I tried to call this person, the last person to post this, out by saying we do not have any evidence that this is remotely related to the virus, number one. Number two, even if it was, we're not serving anything at this point. And they tried to play, the victim card, going, oh, I'm just doing this to search for the truth. No, they're not. If they were, they would have made a disclaimer on the video. They would have tried to, post a link to the video without having a thumbnail. This crisis does not give you the license to be a terrible human being. And if that means I get removed from a group because I'm saying or doing what I feel is the right thing, then good. Then good. You all should be ashamed of yourselves if you act this way. Yeah, I don't. Part of me wants to talk about what's in that video, but no, we're not going to do that in here. You're terrible human beings if you do this stuff. It's not the way to spread news about this. No, this is. I don't. This is like when people are saying the Chinese deserve this, that Chinese people deserve this for X, Y, and Z. Because you are a cold, terrible human being, that you lack empathy. And, the stuff that was being shared yesterday and today, that's even worse than that, in my opinion. Both are terrible. But this does not give you a license to be a piece of crap. So anyways, just want to highlight that. The people that have been following my group, they understand. Like, I think they know the contents of this video. It's not related to the virus at all. But they want to make it that way because they want to feel that there's some sort of a truth teller. They want to feel important. They want to feel powerful. And, they want to feel relevant. When instead, the point of groups like this is not to do that. Our point is to get to the truth because we want to know what's going on with this virus. Not because we're trying to celebrate the dead. Because we want to use it to feel better about ourselves. So... yes, I'm still angry about that. It's part of why I did the stream tonight, because I've been spending the last 3 days trying to get information about this. It's not, the videos and footage that seems more verifiable from China right now, yeah, they're rough. They're really rough. It's kind of getting tiring, but it's I want the people that I know to have a head start if one is necessary. And yeah, I want to alert them. So I'm gonna play a little bit of Doom. I'm gonna kind of chill for a little bit. I'm prepared for the long haul over here, and if it isn't that case, then that's okay too. I'd rather look foolish and be prepared, as opposed to being unprepared and, you know, being in trouble. Because if people panic, you know, imagine going to the grocery store. Imagine how that's going to be, you know? These places don't have the capacity for a panicked public. They're not going to be able to take care of everybody. They're not going to have the resources to everybody. You know, food's going to become really scarce for a little bit there. And getting away from this is a good idea, because especially with the first generation of people to be exposed to a virus, it's going to be hard on us. At least the ones that have symptoms. A lot of people don't have symptoms. But why roll the dice? Why do that? And then there's also a lot of people that are trying to pull the whole Thanos routine. Yeah, those guys get on my nerves too. Whereas stuff like, oh yes, well, humans need to be cold. Yes, yes, yes. Or, I don't know, maybe... It's like when I see someone talk about how human beings have to die. Oh, the humans are pestilence on the world. Yes, yes, yes. And the ones that annoy me the most is when they say that stuff. It's like, all humans need to die. You know, all humans have to die. And I respond with, all right, man, you first. You just talked about murdering all of us. Not because I want you to die, just because I don't actually think you're sincere. I think you're just saying this to get attention for yourself. Not because you're being constructive. Hey, you know, why not become educated? Because, you know, I don't know, if you pretend to care about your friends, maybe you have a friend of yours that has a compromised immune system. You don't want to scare him, but just let him know, hey, man, have some extra food. Have some stuff. Just in case. You know, could be worse. You know, again, this isn't like an aerosol Black Death, but there are a lot of unknowns, and it could get really bad, but, you know, could not be a big deal. It's looking like it'll be a combination of two, maybe. I don't know. I've never been through this before, and you guys haven't been through this before. None of us have. We haven't. When was the last time we had these mandatory quarantines? 50 years ago? Yeah, 64. That's a long time ago. When was the last time Russia closed their southern border? The nations of the world see something. Yeah, I'll agree with that. There's a lot of stuff being hidden from us. I agree with that. But it also doesn't mean that it necessarily is the end of the world. So that's kind of my 2 cents about the whole thing. I know I've kind of prattled on a lot. If you guys want to leave some comments, any questions about, you know, what else I've learned, there's still a lot to talk about. Yeah, it's kind of where I am tonight. But anyways, how's everyone's evening going? Sorry if I seem like I'm a downer, but you know, there's just a lot to consider. Alright, cool. Make a note about that. Alright, cool. Let's take a look at other updates throughout the day. I'm gonna scroll through all the details I've gotten. Let's take a look. Little newsroom I have here. Okay. Yep, we got the shutdowns to the casinos in Macau. Oh yeah, super spreaders. Ooh, this gets on my nerves. Okay, so we got some jerks. That's a very light term for these people, if you want to even call them people. And I don't use that lightly. There are people that apparently they were in the infection zones, they got sick, and then they deliberately eluded quarantine, only to then hop around the country and begin infecting people en masse. We have one piece of crap that ended up infecting 17 people. Then the worst was this family of 3. I know they're protecting their identity right now, but these are what they have done. Ooh. They traveled, I believe, to 3 different cities. Went to 5 5-star hotels, if I recall correctly. All 3 of them were sick. They knew they were sick, and they deliberately avoided quarantine. They infected apparently a lot of people. And I think you guys know, some of those people died. Some of them died. All because you just felt you were entitled to something that other people couldn't get. You just had to have that vacation. You had to have that fun little trip, hopping around. They didn't want to get a flight back home. Didn't want to do that. They were on vacation in here. Just couldn't do it. But you had to make sure you infected a lot of people because you're a selfish brat. So forgive me for all the irritation here, but I can only imagine the family and friends of those that have passed away because of these three. So it is something called, super spreaders. Another reason I'm concerned about this, because they eluded quarantine for quite some time, and it's very much like our India friend. They feel that they are not feeling bad in a virus that takes a long time, a virus that will start off relatively bad and get a lot worse. Even if he ends up not getting very bad symptoms, you are now exposing a lot of people to what's in your system. So it's agitating, very agitating. So super spreaders, that's one of the things I found about today. Let's keep going. Other details. Here's a funny exchange. Here's another Thanos one. Some guy goes, it's just depopulation. We just have to live with it. And one person responds, until it's you, they have to depopulate. Right. Let's keep going. Where? I got some other stuff here. Yeah, we got a case in Brighton in the UK. There are possible cases in San Diego. Keep going. Also, it looks like the quote-unquote real numbers that were reported by Tencent looks like they're fake, so keep that in mind. Nintendo is halting their production of the Nintendo Switch briefly because of what's going on. Worth noting. Here's the fun things from the Independent. .uk. Let's go point this out here. So, apparently, Boris Johnson's father accidentally, we don't know if it's really accidental or not, leaked an email. I can try, Mitchell. I can't promise anything because I'm using Ustream right now, so I actually have no access to the comments, so I can't delete what you want me to delete. Sorry, buddy. Maybe just message me it privately or something. So Boris Johnson, yeah, he said he wants to reinforce the importance of our inclusive chaos. No, that's sorry, Newcastle University's vice chancellor. That's about alarming incidents. Yeah, okay, so never mind. I can't get the exact quote of it, but apparently Boris Johnson's he has some stuff to say. Yeah, China expressed concern to Boris Johnson's father after that the Prime Minister has not sent a personal message of support over the coronavirus outbreak. Stanley Johnson passed on Chinese ambassador his word. Lou, I don't know, I'm going to get his name wrong, so I'm going to forget it. His words to UK officials in an email following a 90-minute meeting on Tuesday and accidentally copied to the BBC. They did not say what it was. Okay, so worth saying that some of the leaders are a little scared right now. Let's keep going. Scrolling up. What else do we have from today? Okay. So today we started 349 cases. What's our current number? That's a jump. That's a significant jump. Yep, that's a big one. We jumped up to 31,000. So we are still trucking along with infections. Let me see if I can get the stuff here. Another fun thing to do is if you really want to see what's going on across the world, take a look at snap maps. They are clamping down on native Chinese people, but you can find snaps from people that are traveling. It's not a lot, but it's something. Let's see. Yep, okay. Okay. So that's pretty much most of it. The Mayo Clinic physician on the coronavirus, Dr. Gregory Poland, professor of medicine and infectious diseases and the director of the vaccine research group at Mayo Clinic, and Scott Gottlieb, I guess wrong name, they from Pfizer. Both of them have agreed that we are pretty much at a pandemic at this point, and that was days ago. So this is part of why I'm concerned. You know, have your stuff ready to go. I have rekindled my love for Fruity Pebbles thanks to all this. I got a big bag of it. Alright, let's keep going. Keep going. But yeah, I just find it funny. I've been banned from a group because I thought, well, maybe at some point I'll talk about why that was on that video. But yeah, it was pretty horrifying and very classless. So, yeah, I get it. This is a bad situation. This is rough. but that doesn't mean to be a barbarian about stuff. Okay, so that's all the major stuff for today. Oh, thanks for the heads up, Mitchell. So apparently another cruise ship is in trouble. One of the known added 61 infected. Wow, really? What country is that from? I'm really curious about this. I'd love to know where that's headed, because I know that there was one in Japan that added 20. That is alarming. Let's see if we can find out. Cruise ship coronavirus. Okay, let's find out. Interesting. I think yes. Okay. Wait. What? Oh, goodness. Okay, so Japan is reporting 41 new coronaviruses on the quarantine cruise liner. So that doesn't sound like it's the same one that Mitchell was mentioning. So let's take a look at... Here we go. You're right. This one's on Bayonne, New Jersey. Oh. Interesting. Well, I hope they can wrap that up pretty quick. It's interesting. So, the New York Post, they can't even keep up with the numbers. They're saying the virus, which has spread to the city of Wuhan in China, has now killed more than 560 people and infected more than 28,000 globally. We're way past those numbers at this point, guys. Way past those numbers. Let's keep looking. What else we got here? You're right. Is this a different one? Oh, okay. No. So here's what it is, Mitchell. So Japan already had people that were infected. It says coronavirus cases tripled to 61 on cruise ship quarantined in Japan, with 41 more reported. So it's 61 in the cruise liner. So I'm telling you guys, it takes a bit for this stuff to infect. Jeez. Well, I really hope they're okay in that quarantine. I really hope they're all right, because we're not going to know for a while, guys. This takes a while. That's rough. Yeah, okay. Thanks for the heads up, Mitchell. I didn't know about this. I take a break to play a little bit of Smash Brothers, and look what happens. Like I had my eye on this for quite some time too, and this kind of snuck up on me. Let's take a look. Maybe we'll pull another source right here. All right, let's see what other news we got. Oh, all right. Ooh, I hope he's okay. What? Oh my goodness. This brings out something kind of wrong. I'm going to confirm this, but so as widely reported on CNN and elsewhere, Li Weilang, Wenliang, I think so. That's the doctor that died. He said that he was hospitalized on January 12th and tested positive for the coronavirus on the 1st, which means 21 days after hospitalization, he was then included in the counts. Ooh, that's bad implications, my friends. Interesting. Oh, really? Do you know, dude, Mitchell? If you can let me know where that is, I'd love to put that on the episode tonight. Let everybody know. Like, so another cruise ship is looking for someone to let them dock. Okay, that is breaking stuff. I did not know about this. Let's see. Okay. Okay, this is some levity, everybody. So I'm sure you played Plague Inc. And someone's like, it's time to go to the Promised Land, people. It's Madagascar, because that game was so hard to infect Madagascar. But sometimes a little bit of comedy is handy. Let's see. Oh. So here we go. Two more media outlets are saying different things. The Philippine media says a 15-year-old female worker died in Dubai of coronavirus. Dubai media says it's pneumonia. Tests first came back negative on February 1st. Could be a false negative. Dubai is arranging for cremation. That sounds very suspicious to me. Yes, it does. Some gulfnews.com. So there's your source. Let's see. Let's take a look. Interesting. Snapchat's apparently spreading misinformation. Grain of salt. Don't take it too seriously, but there's some theorizing about it right now. It says it's on Reddit, so it's Reddit, so bear in mind this is not the gospel, but I did notice Snapchat was highly suppressed. It says, basically, to sum it up, I've been poking just around, minding my own business, and I see reports of the C virus are finally reaching the younger peoples. Well, I open up a few news articles posted on Snapchat, and all I see is low lethality, similar to flu with higher infection rate, and can be handled as a case of concern, but not to panic over. It says, I agree, don't panic, take a level-headed approach, and buy a little food stock and masks if you can find them. But then again, the fact that a large sum of people using Snapchat are younger and likely more gullible / out of the loop, while telling them that the thing is like the flu is an injustice and a danger of the safety of those unknowing of what's coming. This will get worse before it gets better and will not slow down for quite a bit. It's like the hurricanes I weathered in Florida. Sit tight, prepare, and hang on to something before you get flushed away with the others. Just food for thought. Yeah, that seems about right in my opinion. Interesting. So that person's from Florida. Let's see. Anyone worry about smart countries' ability to cope? Avoiding quarantine from Mexico to the United States. Like, I have to sift through a lot of the stuff that seems like it's kind of irrelevant. Oh, interesting. We got a fun source here. So one of the guys on the cruise ship, the Princess Cruise, he's been posting live videos since the beginning of his quarantine. He is with his wife in the cabin, and both report no symptoms, but this new batch of positives today, I'm worried that we're now watching see will become symptomatic. They really have seemed fine today. Sally started coughing. Yes, I noticed that in their interview. She was coughing in the background, but yeah, I assumed it wasn't a big problem. He's been posting today about every hour, and the first was only twice during the video. But as after she coughed several times, seems insignificant, but she wasn't coughing in yesterday's videos. Also, the ship is now doing temperature checks with instructions to report temperatures over 37 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 37.5. David took his underarm temperature and got 36.6. I know I'm American and only understand the weird freedom units, Fahrenheit, but don't you add a degree to an underarm temperature to make it accurate? That's about 0.5 Celsius, I think. So his temperature is actually about 37.1 to 37.6, and his wife is coughing. This is day 3 of their quarantine. Has anyone else seen his videos? David mentioned that the Brit in his recent batch is a friend from his on the cruise. His wife from a honeymoon. Yeah, they seem like kind people. I'll keep an eye on his Facebook. I'll do that. Ugh, man, those poor guys. So yes, I'm gonna keep an eye on his Facebook page, see what's going on. All right, let's go take a look on his page. I'm gonna turn the volume off, but I just want to see if there's an update because this video is like that post was kind of long ago. Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy. David Abel. Okay, let's see if I can find him. David Abel. Okay, so I have a friend, David Abel. That's awkward. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's see. Oh, great. Now it's all of his posts. I don't really know you, David, but you seem like a cool guy. I'm trying to find the British David Abel. Found him. 2 hours ago. Here we go. He's one of the quarantine passengers aboard the Princess Cruise. He says the cruise has ended and we're in a quarantine situation. He says luxury days are gone. Let's keep reading. Let's see how things are going on the cruise liner. He says one of the quarantine passengers aboard the Princess Cruise ship on CNBC on Thursday that the vessel is moored, but guests are not allowed to leave. The cruise has ended and we're in a quarantine situation. He says 74-year-old David Abel is being held in the Diamond Princess with his wife. He spoke to CNBC through a Skype call that aired on the network's special outbreak report. I'll put on my best British accent here. All of the luxury of having someone, a steward, coming to the cabin, make the bed, put chocolate on the pillow, change the towels, face clothes, clean the bathroom, those days are gone. Eyeball says, explain the environment. It just ain't happening. Poor guy. The Carnival-owned company, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. He's been leading a private Facebook group for his fellow passengers in an effort to let off steam, cheer each other up. He's also ends posting daily Facebook Live videos while the ship provides guests with complimentary internet and phone service. Those passengers who are on the inside cabins, they've got... I think it's him. Those passengers who are on the inside cabins, they've got no windows to look out of. There's no daylight, natural light, and they can't seem to walk down a corridor. It's a strict confinement to the cabins for all passengers. Abel says in describing the scene from the inside, but the captain has announced that people on the inside cabins are going to be allowed access onto the open deck for exercise and fresh air. He has not quite that kind of a British accent, but I did watch the interviews and he seems like a really nice guy. That was me just giving it a crack for authenticity's sake. Okay, so moving forward. So it says for Mitchell Clark, he says the doctor that had died through false negative. Went through false negative. He felt sick and asked to be retested. He died a hero. Indeed, he did die a hero. What a brave man. Oh, here we go. David Abel. Found his page. Let's take a look. Found it right here. I'm going to turn this up a little bit so you can hear it. They seem like such a wonderful couple.
Trying to keep up to date with everything that's
all right, let's see.
on board ship. We do get some announcements from the captain. Nothing really that is going to be of interest.
See, I didn't get that accent at all. I didn't get it at all.
Was that we are to take our temperatures regularly, and I must be getting paranoid because I've taken mine 3 times in the last hour, and I'm still just under 37, 36.9 Celsius. Someone commented earlier that they thought it was a temperature, a thermometer that you had to put in the mouth. No. There are really wonderful instructions with this. So,
Interesting, guys. I kind of want some Fruity Pebbles now. I gotta stop. My diet is ruined because of this. It's ruined.
there are pictures,
Okay.
and it's the pictures that show it has to go
I gotta work on that accent.
so that's fine.
See, mine was a bit more... I don't even know the names of the different ones. Like, my British accent was about here.
We've been dining with every
I did work on a Spinal Tap one, though, before. I watched that movie constantly.
I believe he is
They think it's a sexist cover. Oh, it's all being sexy. That was a fun movie.
Reuters website, REUT.
Okay, let me skip ahead.
On the Reuters website, inside cabins, most of them possibly can.
I'm not hearing the coughing they're so worried about.
I don't think I've got anything else to share with you. What I would like to know, if anybody hears this in the UK specifically, and that's us being selfish, being Brits, that if
Being
you
Brits.
hear anything about us having to go through a quarantine when we disembark, whenever that will be, it would be good to know.
Okay. I'm not really hearing the wife coughing, though.
In Canada, they have gained information, I don't know where from, that says the 14-day quarantine period recommences the moment a new passenger is
Oh.
confirmed tested positive. So if that is true,
Yeah, I don't hear the coughing.
I don't know, it'll be another 14 days.
So, maybe.
We could potentially even. So yeah, that might have been just a sense of humour, but I think
He looks, I mean,
they have started delivering.
I guess he looks a little red, but he's also got a bright red shirt on, so I don't know.
One person on Facebook told me not to be such a baby, that man up, that I'm making a big fuss over it. It's my medical diet, for goodness sake. I need 1 banana a day to stabilise the condition of my stomach.
Okay,
So
got it.
so
Here's him doing the test.
hello again, everyone. It's just between
So that's him taking his temperature.
12 passengers.
Sorry if it seems a little boring right now. This is me literally, I didn't know about this until just now.
Generally don't hold the handrail with my open hand. I lean my arm, which will either have a jumper or a jacket.
Okay, got it. Point being, it's worth being concerned about. I hope he gets better soon, if he is indeed sick. I was worried about that. Because again, we don't know there are not. Like, we really don't know. We don't know what he's in for. That is something. That's really something. Let's take a look on Reddit real quick, see if we get any more information. If not, this might wrap up tonight. That's just one of me. I just wanted to update some stuff for you guys. See how things are going with everybody. During these streams, if you guys want to update me with any other information, I'd love to have it. I'm trying to make as comprehensive as an understanding of what's going on in the world right now. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, looks like Texas has another person tested for the coronavirus. This is 2 hours ago. California, Texas, Nebraska. Body bangs line. Oh, right. That's an old video. Apple, Qualcomm, Nintendo, Cathay Pacific, and Fiat have announced current or pending on impact on operations because of that. So one thing that is worth noting, we don't really see this kind of economic apprehension from a virus before. I've never really seen something like that happen, like in any kind of instances. So it's just worth noting, man. You know that we had the first quarantine since I believe '64. Apple has shut down their stuff in China. Production from the Nintendo Switch has been halted, at least I'm not sure to what degree, but I did read an announcement from their website today about this. So we're painting a picture right now in China that's getting a little bit concerning. Of course, we have my good friend Quentin, who's in Macau. He's feeling pretty concerned about this. Thanks for looking into it, Mitchell. Appreciate it, man. But yes, it's painting a picture that is worth concerning about. Again, it shouldn't be too devastating to people that have a good immune system, but again, this is conjecture. You know, we don't know for good or for worse. It could be not a big deal, could be a really big deal. All we know is we got about a week to go, guys. So, stay safe, everybody, and look out for yourselves. I think that might wrap tonight up. Unless you guys, want me to continue. Let me look one more time. What's this? Yeah. Yep. That's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Alright, guys. Thanks for wrapping up for me tonight. Let me double check, make sure I have any comments that I missed. And that should be it for me. Oh, no more people want to tune in. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll go on for a little bit longer. Okay. Okay. I wish I could get Jerry to hop up next to me. It's my cat. He's hanging out next to me. Alright, guys. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on comments. If anybody wants to update me with any information, I'm going to basically use this stream to answer any questions the best of my ability. Again, I'm not a medical expert, but I've been looking a lot into this. I can talk more about like the preparation side of things. What I have done, what to look out for. Not because, I'm an expert in the field, but I've been piecing the puzzle together a little bit. Oh man, am I out of ammo? I'm not. Okay, good. I am out of ammo. Well. I'm running out. Well, jobs come back to the USA. You mean like legitimately, like the ones that were outsourced to China? I don't know. I don't know much about that. I'm not an expert in the field. But it makes you wonder, Makes you wonder. My friends, are you still on about this virus? Yeah, it didn't go away. Like, it didn't just disappear overnight. Ah, I wasn't talked about it. I guess there's no more virus. Yes, yes, I am. What would you rather me be on about? The Super Bowl? I'm good, man. You guys have fun with your football. I'm not making fun of it, but yes, I have decided to care about this. Rob, you're scaring people. Actually, I think the virus is scaring people. I'm not, like, I'm not panicking about it, but it's like, guys, it's worth noting. It is worth noting. Hey! What's your name? Juan. Well, Juan, it looks like in the ship it is currently 61. As of right now in the Japanese, I think it's called the Princess Cruise. So it looks like it's getting around. I forgot how many people are actually on the ship though. Is it 3,000? I believe. 3,000. So yes, it looks like it's the total Japanese number is as of now at 61. So just cause for concern, not cause for alarm. It's probably the best way to put this. Oh man, I'm losing so much ammo right now. Hey! Oh boy. That's not good. Thank you, Juan. Thank you for the update. Ah, he got me. He got me. Yeah, it's concerning, isn't it, man? Yeah, it's pretty worrisome. Hold up. Alright. Yeah, that's ones that drive me into the wall. I have somebody that hits me up and they're like, Rob, why are you so concerned about this, man? And it's like, number one, I have every right to be. Number two, if you want to prove to me why I shouldn't, feel free. But if you don't, I'm not really sure what these talking tos are about. I just think it is worth keeping your eyes on. So, that's the big thing that's bothering me. Maybe it's because they're afraid that something bad might be happening. I don't quite know. And that's on them. Like, maybe it's them going, I hope that I can convince Rob to stop caring about this, because then therefore, in the back of my mind, I don't have to worry about it. And, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to run to the hills, but I'm going to keep my eye on it. Yes, that'd be very handy if you could find out about that one. Thanks for dropping in, by the way, man. Thank you for popping in. Because I could not find evidence of another ship either. I'd like to know if there was. That would be quite handy. The worst ones are when someone's like, it's the flu, man. Or like, there was another one that was like, getting my case earlier today. And it's like, why do you care about it? And I'm like, I'm giving all the, again, I'm like citing information. I'm not like, oh, it's an HIV biological weapon. Like, I'm not doing all that stuff. But I am like saying, yo, this is why I'm concerned. Oh, that sucked. No, I didn't look at it. Also, Juan, hey man, Just out of curiosity, buddy, where are you from? I'm just trying to see where everyone's kind of tuning in from. I'm really curious about, just, where everyone's coming in from. Gotta get an idea, because maybe you're in an area that I don't have much info from, you know? We could trade some stuff. Really? I didn't think they were going to talk much about that in academia. So where do you, what college you go to, man? Indiana. Interesting. I didn't expect that. So how are people in your school handling this? Like, are they, is it not the flu stuff? Or it's like, oh yeah, it's the flu, man. Or is it that kind of environment? Or is it like they're kind of concerned now? Or like, hey, you know, this is cause for concern, not for panic, or I don't know, are people full-blown panicking? Information's a little bit hard to come by, so I'm very curious about how you're doing. What the? This is not a good run. High school, huh? So that is interesting. Yeah, I've noticed that about most academia at the moment is that they're not really like creeping out about this or freaking out. So the teachers, oh wow, I thought it'd be the other way around. Like, so what are the teachers saying? Like, how are things going over at your school? Are they, how concerned are we talking about here? Because I've heard about colleges where it's like the other way around. Like there's students that are scared about this or concerned about this, and the people that are like their instructors and stuff are like, yeah, you're over analyzing it. This is this. Yo, playing in this with the sunglasses on is the worst. What have I done? What have I done? Oh, so they're worried about what happens economically. They don't think, they're not worried about the World Health Organization, like them saying that we're going to have outbreaks over here and all that stuff. I've heard a lot of people are concerned about the economics. But it seems like, oh my god, will you stop shooting me? Ooh. I always hate this part. That's true. You know, for those who are not tuning into YouTube, our friend here, Juan, is saying that they're not really worried about that because they know doctors and scientists, whoops, that they're working hard on finding a cure, which is true. We have a lot of countries all racing to get a vaccine, but vaccines take time. You know, like, it could be months, it could be years. But you know, I know there is a combination of drugs. Ligandrol, I think, no, Ligandrol, that's a SARM. I forgot the name of the drugs, but there's an HIV medication and a flu medication, an antiviral, that apparently are effective. But that's all I've got right now. Is those are a thing, and they seem to be helping. But outside of that, we do not really have a cure. We just have ways of treating it. No, the World Dream? I don't know. I haven't heard that name before. Oh, crap. Oh, boy. Oh, I couldn't move. Ah! Oh, shameful. We're gonna play another game now. I'm not happy with the rewards of that. Let's try Street Fighter. Ba -ba, Huh. Well, that is an interesting one. Yeah, right? That's what I was worried about. It's spreading to Africa. Oh, dude, if that happened, that would be terrible. They're already ravaged by HIV and stuff. Like, jeez. So I feel you there, man. He does that 1, 2, and that third one. Don't know why. He'll do it again. It's a weird AIC. Don't know why that happens. Yeah, dude, if it hits Africa, you're looking at some horrible rates. What the? Should have done a sure you can. Hey. Yeah, dude. Hope if you want to, keep posting all this. Hope you get to subscribe, and I can see you in a future chat. Appreciate the info, one. Means a lot. I'm currently based out of Maryland, so I'll be making more of these, and hopefully we can trade information and get an idea of what's coming to us. And hey, hopefully it's a bunch of nothing, but it's worth being concerned about. But have a good night, man. Thanks for tuning in. Wait, what? Oh, really? There's two, because I knew that they were suspected cases in New York. Are they confirmed? Let me double check that. Because I know there's like 3 or 4 like suspected cases in New York. But let's find out. Yeah, I think it's just the suspected ones right now. Yeah, it's 4. Interesting. Yeah, nothing yet, buddy. All right. The computer really should be falling for these tactics. Gonna do for jump. Oh, usually they go for a jump right at the beginning. Oh, is he getting perk me? Nope. No perk for you. No perk for you, DJ. Really? That's gonna work? Hey, you can combo out of that with another Shoryuken after double Tatsu. Come on, man. Why is the computer falling for this? Alright. Might be wrapping it up for me tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, might be up. Hey, Liana. If you're still tuning in, how you doing? Nice to see ya. Really want some Fruity Pebbles. This is my priorities. Usually he goes for the low heavy, and not usually like check him. What the? Grab me out of Shungo Gosatsu. Get off me. That's embarrassing. Shameful what happened just there. Oof. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That does it. What's up, Sam? How you doing, buddy? 27 pending. I knew there was a lot. Jeez. I knew there was a number they were testing. I thought it was a potential at 4 right now. I didn't know it was 27. Man. Yeah, Sam, what's going on, man? Doing some OG Street Fighter. Like the good old days, remember that? Used to play Street Fighter 4. Yeah. Usually they do a forward jump. Now this is one of the more dangerous computer opponents for Ryu in this game. Because that's stuff, the in and out crap. Thanks, man. It ain't Street Fighter 4 though. You know, those days. It's still one of my favorite fighting games. Probably my favorite of all time. But this is sad. This is, you know, solid. Still solid. Oops. Ah! See, like Street Fighter 4, you had confirms. There's no confirms to the Shungo Gosatsu in this game. Just gotta zone him. Gotta zone him and get the counter. She's not done that trick in this one. She's not one for the yeah, the heavy to or the jump. Oh, you can combo into light into medium. I didn't know that. Huh. Interesting. A lot of similarities between 4 and 2. So I like 2. But that being said, I think that's all the updates I have for the virus tonight. Just be aware, you know, be attentive, be informed. Love doing that. That's really the best way to be about this. You know, nothing to be panicky about, but there is a significant chance that there will be possible outbreaks in the area. And I will see you guys soon. Stay alert.